Alright, welcome to another video. Here we are with just 6 weeks to go on my road to Cairns. These videos are just a little bit of a training recap of how my week went, and this is recapping, as I said, week 6 to go. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. For those who've been here before, welcome back. My name is Trindall. I'm a 57-year-old triathlete based in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, and as the title in the video says, I'm training to compete in Ironman Cairns in, well, as we make this video, 34 days from now, so it's starting to get very close. So let's dive into how my week 6 went. So my week 6 was a recovery week. Now what I've been doing is I've generally been doing a 4-week block in my training. So I progressively load myself up for the first 3 weeks, and then the 4th week is my recovery week where I back off the volume and the intensity. So the last cycle was a 5-week block, so it was a 4-week build with last week, week 6 to go, being the recovery week, and that led into the Moreton Bay Tri on the weekend, which we'll talk about towards the end of this video. So but kicked off with Monday of the week was a rest day, so there's absolutely no training that day, just a light walk and some stretching, and that's pretty much it for Monday. Tuesday was a 90-minute zone 2 ride, so coming back down in the duration of those rides again, and I didn't throw any sort of efforts into that ride. I just kept it purely zone 2 and rolled the legs over for 90 minutes. A nice easy day, and basically that's it for the day. So Wednesday went out in the morning, 60-minute run, nothing special again there, just a zone 2. I stayed in that sort of low to mid zone 2 as well. What I'm trying to do with this week is, one, recover, but that adaptation as well. I want to get that fitness that I've built in those last few weeks, because you don't get fit in the build weeks. All you're doing is fatiguing and loading your body. You get fit in the recovery week. So it's important in the recovery week, while you still need to do a little bit, to not overdo it and not get carried away as well. So moving into Thursday hit the pool, and you can see here I'm just doing sort of 1 session a day. I haven't been doubling up either, and I just did a 2,000 meter swim. And what I did with that, I actually did it in the wetsuit in the pool, as we've spoken about before, and as you know if you've been to Cairns or you looked at going to Cairns, it is a wetsuit swim up there, mainly because of the box jellyfish, which it's not box jellyfish season, but they're just heading on that side of caution just in case. But the water temperature is a little warmer up there, 23, 24 degrees. So what I wanted to do was get that heat acclimatization in that wetsuit. So the pool locally is 28 degrees. It's an indoor 50-meter heated pool, which we're so lucky to have. So I know I'm a little bit warmer in there. All I did on that swim set was literally a 400-meter warm-up, just floating through, using the wetsuit to glide. I find when I swim in the wetsuit, it's almost like a half catch-up. You're allowing that body to glide through by holding out a little longer in the stretch. So, and then I did 15 100s off 2 minutes. I was coming in at about 123s to 127s consistently on those, and then leaving on the 2. So heaps of rest, not pushing them, just floating through and allowing the wetsuit to do its job. Easy 100 meters and then out. So nice short session. Friday morning, heading into the weekend, and as I said earlier, we have a race there, and the Moreton Bay Tri on the weekend, so I just wanted to wake the legs up a little bit. So 10-minute warm-up run down to the beachfront, and then 2 4-minute efforts. So when I do those 4-minute efforts, I run them in my race shoe, and I'll talk about that race shoe in a minute when we talk about the Tri itself on the Sunday. And why I do that is I'm really just concentrating on form, I'm concentrating on my breathing, and I'm concentrating on the cadence. And I find that it's a little bit easier to do that in a race shoe, and they're such a short session as well. You're not putting a lot of fatigue on your legs as well. So very solid session with a 2-minute walk between each. And that 2-minute walk's just to allow full recovery. At the end of that, just a nice 10-minute relaxed warm down run, and that was it. So it wasn't an overly long session, still about 6K in length. I think just under 40 minutes in total time, or maybe low 30s. But once again, just making sure that body's still realizing what it's got to be doing. So Saturday morning, set the bike up with the race wheels for the Sunday, so just out for a 60-minute roll. And in that 60-minute roll, I just did two 2-minute efforts with a very long recovery between each, just at approximately race pace. So just holding that power that I felt that I was going to hold. And the race on the Sunday was a 60k bike leg, so it was a good hit out prior to Cairns as well. So, and then we roll into the Sunday. So the Sunday was, we'd had a few really cold days in Brisbane on the Thursday and the Friday. That sort of southerly came through, or southwesterly came through, and there was a lot of snow down the southern states, and we were feeling that in Brisbane with some very cooler mornings. But luckily Sunday morning we woke, the wind was really light to start with, so there wasn't a lot of chop out in the swim. The swim itself, and I will do a race recap video later, so I won't go too much into the details of the race, but the swim was a 2k 2k swim, which was 2 laps of literally a 1k circuit, or less than 1k circuit, plus you're in and out to the buoys. So the bike was a 6 lap 60k bike, and then the run was a 2 lap 15k run. So I was lucky enough to sort of hold myself together in the swim, swim really well, swim very comfortably. Bike felt controlled the whole way, didn't really push it. And then the run, I didn't feel my usual self on the run, so I guess I'm still carrying a bit of this heavy load. You know, the week prior to this was a 16-hour week, and that was sort of building over those 4 weeks. I was carrying a lot of fatigue into this week. I still ran quite okay, and I ran way quicker than I intend to run in Cairns, but the run did let me down towards the end of the race. So I've been racing and doing those speed sessions in the ASIC, I think they're ASIC Sky Tokyo, so they're a carbon plated shoe. Now, I found them greater in the shorter distances, like the 5k up to about the 10k races, and I hadn't run in them over that 10k mark. Now, there's not a lot of lateral support in them, and I have had a few instances where I've come around a turning marker, or you're just uneven grounds and you're very close to rolling your ankle, so they're not a very stable shoe. In this particular race, at about the 12k mark, my feet were absolutely aching. So the good thing that came out of that was I was planning to wear these shoes in Cairns. Now I'm not. I'm going to find something with a little bit more heel support and a little bit better cushioning. I think these are a great shorter, maybe even up to Olympic distance, but I'm not sure I would ever wear them even in a half Ironman. So next day or so I'll do some research and find a better shoe. If anyone has some suggestions, please feel free to throw them down in the comments when it comes to that as well. So I ended up with another podium on the day, which was quite good. I got run down. I was in the lead of the age group up until about 3k of the run. And Darren, my nemesis from the last race, who beat me by 8 seconds, ran me down, and he was flying. Like when we turned at the 3.5k mark, I went to go with him, and the next k we went, well, I looked down and I'd run a 4:30, which was about what I wanted to run the whole thing in, and he just was running away from me. And he ran an extraordinary run that day, which was well done, Darren, and congratulations on the win. So I ended up in 3rd place. As I said, I got run down, I think about a k and a half to go, and I just had nothing left. I wasn't going with the next place getter, John, and well done on second, John. Anyway, that was the last race in the Queensland Tri Series as well. So that series, I believe, was an 8-race series. I managed to race 6 of them with work commitments and everything like that. But I accumulated, we'll try that again, enough points throughout the series, and I'm very proud to say I came away with the overall series point score win for the 55 to 59 age group for the old blokes. So very, very happy with that. And that wasn't a goal for this season. I was just using them as practice and motivation and a little bit of training leading into Cairns. So to take that overall point score as well was just a bonus, and a credit to everyone that raced the series, and also a credit to the organisers for running a very safe and enjoyable series. So anyway, that's my week as it was. So we're getting closer now, and the nerves are kicking in. So if you've subscribed to the channels, thanks so much. If you haven't, you know the drill. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them down in the comments. And until next week, stay safe out there, guys. Bye.